The same people that get targeted for red pill content are probably getting targeted for the Kamala Harris is going to take away my rights as a man algorithm. So this was posted in the relationship advice subreddit. She says, my fiance thinks voting for Kamala will take men's rights away. What do I say to convince him she won't? So this woman is 24, he's 28. She says, I and my fiance it should say, me and my fiance have been together for 6 years. Okay, the post. She says, recently we've been arguing back and forth about Kamala versus Trump. He believes Trump is the better candidate. No matter how much I try to reason with him and explain that I'm terrified about my rights being taken away, he turns it around and says he's concerned about his rights. But there's literally nothing posing a risk to his rights as a man and his bodily autonomy. One of the reasons he thinks this is he somehow got the idea that Kamala will order a mandatory draft for men to go to war, even though there's no proof of that. I don't know where he came up with that, to be honest. He also cites one of her campaign ads about men being manly as proof that his rights are at stake. This is the video he showed me. It's this ad with multiple men saying that I'm a man enough, and talking about getting some donuts because it's a play off of JD Vance going into the donut shop and not knowing how to order donuts.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to grill a steak.
Rare.
Man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Jelly donuts.
Maple glaze.
Cream-filled. The more cream, the better.
Pink with sprinkles.
I mean, who messes that up? Just order a cruller, get a coffee, and walk away.
And I'll tell you another thing. I'm man enough to support women.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
She says, I'm so tired of him refusing to understand how scared I am of the future if Trump wins, not just for women's rights, but for the earth in general. She doesn't edit. He's neither a Republican nor a Democrat. I'm pretty sure he hasn't even voted in the last 2 elections because he refuses to vote if he doesn't like any of the candidates. But for some reason, he wants to vote for Trump this election. We've seen the articles about how men and the women are diverging based on politics, based on religion, women getting more liberal, men getting more conservative. Men that vote for Trump are having more difficulty dating. It's all because women's rights are on the ballot. There are no men's rights that are on the ballot now or forever, because men have always been majority in charge of how we make these laws. Men are not going to force men and take away men's rights the way they are trying to continue to chip away at the rights that women have won, like over the past 2 generations. We haven't even had these rights that long, and men are continually trying to chip away at them. There's no arguing with these people. There's no trying to make them see your rights and your humanity. That's the reason why these relationships aren't lasting, and why women and men will continue to go their own way and go on different paths, because there is one set of people who want to keep oppressing folks, and then there's the other that's just like, you're not going to be able to take away my rights. You can't, it's not going to be able to come together. There's no agreeing to disagree in this aspect. Some of the comments: accomplished is wondering, and you're still marrying him. Allison says, exactly. A vote for Trump highlights so many non-negotiable ethical issues I'd have with a partner. First and foremost, basic level of respect for people. Women's rights is not the issue, but a symptom of it. Meow, I'm a kitty cat says, what is he concerned about? The selective service law that's been inactive for the past 107 years that requires all men to register when they turn 18? Newsflash. It wasn't a woman that came up with this law. Potentially being drafted and serving our country is his right as an American man. Nobody is taking away any of his rights. No Emotion says, and if there was a draft, how would it exclude all of the women currently serving, who would also be expected to enter combat? But then tater tots and Trump fans aren't the most logical ones. And Star Mega says the difference is that men are forced, women aren't. It's got baked into gender discrimination based into it. Women have proven more than capable of serving in the armed forces. They should be able to be drafted if it came to that. But Kamala Harris didn't create the draft. This is not about her. It's not about Trump. This has already been in place. And nobody has been drafted into a war. People, I mean, that of right now, nobody is drafted into a war. We're not at war. And if you guys want to change this situation, it should be something that you're going up against men about, not Kamala Harris. Lima Khan says, exactly, these efforts scream men's rights, but what they mean is I don't want to have to do the work of ever thinking of others, but as a right. This person, Mudway, says, this guy sounds awful, and his concerns about the draft seem like a total red herring. I don't think the gender disparity in selective service law and fears around getting drafted are something to be taken lightly in general, though. Whatever the sex or gender identity of the people who voted it in, there are Republican women who support abortion bans as much as that is puzzling to most of us. A lot of people keep wondering, are you still planning on marrying him? Why marry a sexist? Mizzy Von Muffling says he's an illiterate idiot. And then this next person says an illiterate. S-Dog at the bottom says she will realize he was stupid 6 years ago too. Empress Platina says, would be nice if we could put him and others like him on an island with Trump as their king. Yes, let's put them all together, maybe in Utah or Wyoming. Okay, maybe Wyoming or North Dakota. That would be cool. All right, Afkira says, babe, he's a lost cause. You can either go down with the ship or jump out. Your call. But if you stay on the ship, you can't also pretend like you're not on it. Your guy is an idiot. If you stay with him, you'll also be an idiot. And when someone paints you with a MAGA brush, you won't be able to complain because, well, you chose a Trump supporter. You got to know what you're getting into, and you know. Now, this person does not like this. He says, this is the worst advice I have ever heard. And then that person responds, you must be new then. It's actually pretty sound advice. Political beliefs are based in a person's character. Supporting a normal candidate shouldn't change how people view you, but he's not a normal candidate. He's brainwashed millions with lies that have caused death and despair. There is zero threat to men's rights. It simply wouldn't pass any House or Senate. It's obviously a lie, but maggots believe anything and it starts small. And this is really true. Maggots believe lots of things that are quite silly. And it starts with all of their misinformation channels that they just watch. And they believe anything coming out of Trump's mouth. It's very, very odd, but it's very cult-like. That's the reason why these people will have to go the way of the dodo bird. There's no saving them. You have to exile them. People have lost their family members. Some folks have lost their freedom. Lots of them have lost their finances because of the fines and everything. And they have kind of deserved it because they will not pull their heads out of this cult leader's behind. So they kind of deserve it. Anyways, so could you date someone this polar opposite of your political beliefs? Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.